We'll move on to The Age of Shadows.
Indeed we will, yeah. So we saw this on Friday night in Newcastle last week, and it was really just not it's just the way you want to spend a Friday night sometimes, isn't it? Just locked in a cinema watching a really, really good film. It was directed by Kim Jee-woon, who did I Saw the Devil, which I have not seen.
But Joe, you have?
But you have.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I really want to see it.
Also A Bittersweet Life, also phenomenal. And The Good, the Bad and the Weird, which is, well...
He did The Last Stand as well, that was an Arnie vehicle, which is apparently quite good. I have not seen it, but it's based on a true story, and basically the film focuses on a group of Korean resistance fighters who were attempting to smuggle explosive in Japan and bomb sort of key locations, and all the while there's a cat and mouse game happening between certain members of both groups that stand on each side. The film does set its start really, really early with that intense foot chase with the Japanese police force chasing a member of the Korean resistance, and it ends pretty brutally with a tow. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, South Korean cinema is not known to
hold back.
Yeah. If it's going to show violence, then oh boy, it shows violence.
Yeah, it does not hold back. And then it's sort of from there the film sort of focuses on Kang-ho, who's Lee Jung-chul, who's a high-ranking member of the Japanese police force. He used to be a member of the resistance, but he betrayed them because he's stabbing him in the back. That's but he still works for them secretly, and he's playing both sides as a double agent, and it's a really, really good character. I mean, it's layered, and it's pulled off that. It's sort of the rich, subtle performance by him.
Yes,
I'd say it. It's just he really brings the sort of the moral battles through.
A lot of times.
I thought a lot of times in that character.
You can see it in his face all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of it's the little things in there that sort of show the fight going on in his mind of what trying to do what's right and do his job or doing what he's passionate for, because he still cares so much about his homeland. I mean, Korea is his home, so and he still clearly wants to do that and wants to save them. And I mean, the story does unfold itself gradually over that 2.5 hour running time, but I didn't feel that at all. I was gripped for the entire time, and it's the central plot of the film is sort of the resistance attempting to get those explosives to the Japanese police headquarters, and it's all set around sort of that general plot, and the fact that the main set piece is the train.
Which is just brilliant. The tension it brings out in the train sequence.
Yeah, and like like you said, I mean, and I guess that is the mainstay of Korean cinema, that it doesn't pull its punches like that.
I mean, because I think it began in the late 90s. There was a film called Shiri, which kind of and they started to do all these big action films and stuff like that. There was like a restart of South Korean cinema, I think, because I haven't really ventured back compared to Japanese or Chinese and stuff like that. But you notice how dark so many of them are. They do action scenes phenomenally well. There's just, I mean, this became a big thing in South Korean cinema, people to list the favourite action ones. Of course, the popularity of Old Boy, that's made people just wonder so much about South Korean cinema. And Age of Shadows thought was a brilliantly, just a little, a really good little tense film, and a welcome addition to all the action thrillers. Really,
it really doesn't pull any punches at all.
No,
I mean, there's some brutal scenes in that. I mean, there's a montage that's set as sort of Louis Armstrong's When You're Smiling, and you sort of really feel the plight of the resistance I mean, it does not pull any punches. I mean, that opening scene with a certain thing happening to a toe. It's like you see him instantly that this is not gonna go there you want. But the main set piece of the film, like I said, is the action aboard the train, which is really fantastically tense, with Jung-chul attempting to not be outed by Hashimoto, who is it aid, or he's just working in a separate team or something.
He's pretty much having to work with him.
He's also in the force,
yeah.
And he suspects him, and also on the train there's resistance members who are desperately trying not to be outed as well. So it's constantly back and forth of who's in danger, and that climax.
Who's on whose side, who's on it's just a brilliant little tense.
When the action does kick off, it's just so breezy, isn't it? It's weighty, but it's got a sort of swiftness to it that makes you feel involved. And obviously the production design as well is a massive plus, because I mean, the location, 1920s, it's such a good location to set a story. I mean, throughout those locations like Shanghai and stuff, and it transports you into that world with an ease that just makes you want to just live there. That's what I thought, at least.
The one thing I will say, but I mean, I agree with everything you said. There's no point in me trying to rehash what you've just said. Is that I think if this was an English language film, I know it would dilute the South Korean stuff. It wouldn't be quite as fleshy and gory. But if you imagine the same sort of story, the same way it's kind of done, if it was English, it was in mainstream cinemas, it would be huge. It would be massive. I suppose what I'm saying is people should go and see it.
Yeah, definitely.
People should just like if it's like the language barrier or anything like that, denying people going to see this, then just forget it and go and see it because it's unreal. Yeah, basically.
It's like, I mean, there is, like I said, I showed you that list of the
there's a
South
lot.
There's tons of like really good dark South Korean, and of course coming out soon. I can't remember the date. The Handmaiden.
April 14th.
Oh yeah, boy, Park Chan-wook's back. Can't wait for that.
I've heard it's his best. Empire have called it his best film. Damn.
It's probably edgy as seat, this film, and it had me peeing like with Life. Like it's a film that had me peeing out my eyes quite a lot of times.
Yeah,
like there's a scene that's even worse than said to a scene, and it's
I'll tell you now. Kim Jee-woon, I will hand it to him because, like I said to you, like with Dogtooth, his film I Saw the Devil has a moment in it which made me literally recoil and cringe, which is just so unusual and very rarely happens to me, and it did. I'll not say what. It involves the Achilles heel. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, I think I'll probably guess.
Yeah, just watch it. It's a hell of a bittersweet life. It's one of the, like, honestly, as a gangster film, is phenomenal.
Cool.
Watch South Korean films.